visitation. So we'll find lodgings, get a lay of the city perhaps, and make way from there in the morning. I do believe that is the best course of action. Yes.
Halt! City's closed with the dragons about.
Oh.
Official business only.
Well, I happen to be coming on official business, per the residents of Riverwood, who call for the Jarl's aid in relation to that dragon.
Riverwood's in danger too?
Yes.
You better go on
Sort
in.
of.
You'll find the Jarl in Dragon's Reach, at the top of the hill.
Very well. See, I wouldn't necessarily state that they're in, quote, danger. So, this is what a real city in Skyrim looks like. Very interesting. Not quite up to par what they have in Cyrodiil.
We'll pay whatever it takes, but we must have more swords for the Imperial
A little
soldiers.
more rustic, but not bad.
I just can't fill an order that size on my own. Why don't you swallow that stubborn pride of yours and ask Yorland Greymane for help?
I'd sooner bend my knee to Ulfric's Stormcloak.
Oh, I see.
Besides, Greymane
yes.
would never make steel for the Legion.
Have it your way. I'll take the job, but don't expect... If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick and your
Intercity
eyes quick.
strife. That is wonderful.
What do you need?
Ah, yes. Long journeys. And I am tired and hungry. And I am intrigued. What is this? Pardon?
Damn those Greymanes to oblivion. They want to back the Stormcloaks, they'll get what's coming to them.
That is quite rude.
Greymane or Battleborn?
I do not know what you're talking about. I take it from the little chat you had with the smithy that you are referring to two prominent households of Whiterun. And it's seemingly that you support different ideologies. Which is a long way of saying, what?
Got stones in your ears? I asked what side you're on.
That is quite rude.
Greymane or Battleborn?
Neither. I have a pretty good idea what you're asking, but I'm still going to take the middle road and not identify either way.
New in town, huh?
Yeah.
Whiterun's got two clans, both old and both respected.
I gathered.
Difference is, the Greymanes turned their backs on the Empire, and we Battleborn stayed loyal.
Okay.
So I'll ask again, Greymane or Battleborn?
Is there a third option that says that I don't care, and it is not my battle to wage? Yes.
Sooner or
Yes,
later,
there is.
we all have to choose a side. Long live the Empire.
If you say so. If that happens to be the case, I will wait that out as long as I can.
Avelstein Greymane and I were best friends as children. If I see that traitor again,
do not
I'll
care.
throw him in jail myself.
Ah, that must be the... what did he call it? Dragon's Reach. Well, there's a big tree. Pardon, good sir. Wait, is that it? I am very confused. I could have sworn that Talos worship was forbidden. Guess nobody told the people of Whiterun. Surprised the Thalmor haven't, you know, raided the place. My wandering has led me into a market. I'd say square, but it is a significantly more circular shape. And what have we here? Bunch of nightshade. Ooh. Oh, it's an apothecary. General shop. Some food stands. Oh, this looks promising. The Bannered Mare.
Come on in. Let me
Yes.
know if you need anything, or
This
take a seat by the
was
fire and I'll send someone
accurate.
over.
It is an inn, which is exactly what I was looking for. Hello. Okay. We've got a motley sort. Good evening.
I enjoy this work well enough, but I'm ready to retire. I've been thinking of selling the inn to Isolda. Anyway, what do you need?
That is a lot to tell someone you just met. But room, food,
What can
water.
I get you? Hungry, tired, or just plain thirsty?
All the above. Additionally, any work that a scholarly sort might be interested in.
I assume you saw the Gilded Green? Big tree, all burnt up, in the middle of the Wind District?
Presumably, yes.
It's part of the Temple of Kinnareth. People want Danica to do something about it, but I
Okay.
don't know what they expect.
I could. It might be worth looking into. Botany and that sort is not necessarily my speciality, but I could certainly do some research and learning if it requires, or not requires, if it nets me pay and favor. Any other?
People say there is someone in Riften that can change your face, make you look completely different. Do you believe that?
Ooh, that might be something of use if I ever want to go back to Cyrodiil. Sounds pricey, though. Anything else?
The companions? In Jorvaskr? They're recruiting new members from what I hear.
So I've heard. Apparently you don't have much else. Let's see what food you have.
Let's sate that appetite,
Yes, let's. I want something hearty. Do we have... no, this is all... Like, do you have any, like, steaks, or... I don't know. Well, I suppose I could cook it myself. Very well. I'm not doing well on gold. So, additionally, I need to rent a room.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Very well. Thank you.
I'll show you to your room, right this way.
Perfect.
Oh, you talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now I think it's high time that you lie
Thought you were
down
standing in the
and
flame
bleed.
for a moment.
I ain't so then came clashing and slashing
I
with steel
never
as
said
the
that you
brave
did.
lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
The security in Whiterun is
Hello.
terrible. Shameful is
Braggart
what
named
it is.
Ragnar
Yeah,
was
yeah,
boastful
yeah.
no more.
Security's
When his ugly
terrible,
red
yada
head
yada
rolled around
yada.
on the floor.
Oh, is this...
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
It's... Well, it's quite open concept. And I'm not certain how much I like that. I suppose room with a balcony. Do I? No, everyone looks what I would deem to be normal. Very well. What's this?
Sadia, dear?
Yes, Mum?
You still need to remove that.
This I shall read at a later time. What are they talking
That
about?
stain from the
Oh,
incident.
there once was a hero named Ragnar the Red,
yes,
riding to Whiterun from old Rorikstead.
Is that a murder?
And the braggart did swagger and brandish his blade
It's
as
really
he
not a
told of all
door.
battles and gold he had made.
A need.
But then he went quiet, did Ragnar the Red. when
Lucky
he
for
met the
you, that was just
shield
sitting there
maiden
for the
Matilda,
taking.
who said,
What?
Oh,
Ma'am?
yes.
talk and you lie and you drink all our mead. Now
Please
I think
escort
it's
yourself
high
from my
time that
room.
you lie down and bleed. And so then came clashing and slashing of steel as the brave lass Matilda charged in full of zeal.
I think that reading that
And the
journal
braggart named Ragnar
will
was
be
boastful
something
no more.
for the morning.
When his ugly
Yes, I believe that is indeed the proper route.
head rolled around on the floor.
I ain't asking
So,
for
just
a
a
sentence.
writing song for you.
Well, I was going
Why,
to cook my
John
venison.
Battleborn, you're writing me a song? Does it somehow involve blood?
Oh.
If it's work you're looking for,
Honor of my forebears?
Hulda's the one to talk to.
So I've gathered. I just need to
Well,
borrow
that's
this.
where it started.
I need to cook.
Turned it-
You need more food or drink? Speak to
now
Hulda.
I knew you jokingly.
I am currently.
It's all true, I
at this-
swear.
Pardon?
You can hear it
At
when
this
it's
present
done.
moment, fine.
I'll just need here or
Although
smooth.
water would be appreciated.
I enjoy this work well enough,
Do you-
but I'm ready to retire.
Very
I've
well.
been thinking of selling the into Isolda.
Yes, so you said.
Anyway, what do you need?
Nothing presently. I've made my food. Just need to not trip up the stairs and have a seat.
Sadia, wake up.
Alright. Food is always a good start. Got water. Alright, I'm gonna have to refill. Venison. Okay, well, apparently I was very hungry. Next. That journal. A lot. That journal, though, is of particular interest due to... Who was it that ran up here and judged me about taking it? Mercenary's Journal. Okay. 11th of Morningstar, 4th Era, 201. Something strange happened today. I was hanging out at the Silver Blood Inn in Markarth when out of nowhere, this strange orc was standing in front of me. Normally, I have a fighting reflex when I see an orc. That's very rude and presumptuous. They make me stand on edge. Hand on my weapon, ready for a brawl. I've learned to be careful with their kind from way too many violent encounters. Encounters that you initiated or that they initiated, would be my question to you. But this orc was different. He was dressed up in fancy clothes, well-mannered, and well-spoken. What struck me even more was that this orc didn't smell of blood, sweat, and 2-day-old stale booze. He smelt pleasant, as if he had stepped freshly out of a bath. It was so un-orcish. Well, I see where this gentleman's prejudices lie. Not very subtle. Now, how did he leave his journal? Very mysterious. Anyways, he spoke with fancy words, and I only caught about half of what he said. He was sent by his master to convey a message. He then took out a letter and gave it to me. It was an invitation from an Altmer noble named Celerion. He invited me to come to his mansion to discuss a job offer. Interesting. What kind of work are we talking? Apparently, the guy is a collector of antiques, and he wants me to collect some valuables for him. procurement of antiquity and treasure has a bad stigma, but things of historical and anthropological value, this might be up my alley. Strangely, before I could even finish reading the letter, the fancy orc had already left the inn. This whole encounter was so weird. Is this for real? How did this guy find me? Solarion says he'll pay me a very, very large fee for the job. If that is a serious offer, it might be worth checking out. If not, and this is some sick joke, I'll make him pay dearly. High elves are particularly fun when pushed in a corner. I think most people can be, quote, fun when pushed in a corner. I've heard them squeal and beg for mercy when faced with certain death. That's, I feel, true of many individuals. Might also have some fun with that orc. I wish you good luck there. You can't be that tough after all. I'm getting ahead of myself here. Let's sleep on this offer first. Tomorrow I'll decide what to do next. I'm guessing that's a 13. 13th of Morningstar, 4th era, 201. I still can't believe it yet. That Altmer cook was actually serious. He's a cook. Interesting. I'm very confused. Today I went out to meet Solarion. When I arrived at his huge manor, the orc lapdog, this gentleman or individual needs to have some education, opened the door for me and showed me to his master. That place is huge. I have to admit that I was still skeptical when I walked through the door, half expecting some kind of ambush from an old enemy. But once I met Solarion, everything became clear to me. The elf told me he's a collector of old and valuable artifacts. Artifacts is the word that I would most accurately use to describe my interests. Many of his possessions were already displayed throughout the house, but as he told me, his hunger for valuables is never stilled. Very few people have it stilled. It is usually death that brings that upon them. And that's why he needs me. The job is to track down a number of extremely valuable rings. They are all treasures from ancient times, each with its own dark history. You have piqued my interest. Though potentially magical rings do have certain dangers. It sounded like an easy enough job at first until Solarion explained me a bit more about these treasures. All these rings have names, which in my experience is always a bad thing. As is in my experience, generally named things are named for one of two reasons: very good things or very bad things. And very often, those very good or very bad things are very determinant on one's point of view. There are 5 rings he wants me to find. The first 3 he told me about I didn't know. The Mentor's Ring is desired by wizards for its magical powers, while the Warlock's Ring is wanted by spellblades. Then there's the Ring of Thinness, or Phoenicians, something like that. It gives its owner strong defenses. The Vampiric Ring is something I heard horror stories about, a ring that can suck the life out of anybody. I've also heard of the Ring of Khajiit. It's a Daedric artifact, and nothing good ever comes from those things. Daedra do have dark tidings, yes. I've always made sure to steer clear of all things Daedric, since it's usually a sure way to get killed. Or maimed. or expelled if it's in the course of one's schooling. Not that I can speak to any first-hand experience with that. No, not at all. Skylarion's stories about the rings weren't even the strangest things he told me during our meeting. The elf told me that he's a collector of everything valuable. But he is so against his will. He wants everything valuable, but it's not good. But it's not due to his will, it is outside of his control. He feels the irresistible urge to collect things. He said collecting is in his family's blood, and he warned me nothing good can come of it. His father was a passionate collector of antiquities, but his obsession ended up killing him about 100 years ago. Sounds about right. Strange story, can't help but wonder what's behind that. Normally, I would have declined a job like this. The powers involved are too big to play around with. But then Solarion told me exactly how big that royal fee he'll pay me is. And what is that fee? I wish you would write that down for posterity's sake, and so I could know if this is worth pursuing. I can still barely believe the offer he gave me. I've never received a payment this big. If I do this job, well, I can live out my days someplace warm and far away from SKYRIM. I am sold I must track down this Solarion, if it means funding my excursion away from SKYRIM. It took little more thought for me to accept the job. Okay. Perhaps I'm reading too far into this gentleman or individual. Finally, Solarion further explained me that he already hired another mercenary to find the rings. This thief was off to a good start too. He located some of the artifacts and even stole the ring of Khajiit in Whiterun. Oh, okay, so he's tracking down this thief, I'm presuming? Shortly after, though, he was caught and imprisoned there. A thief getting caught after acquiring the greatest asset any thief could possess. Sounds a bit ironic to me. A little bit, yes. Solarion sent an informant to Whiterun to get in contact with the thief. I'm going to Whiterun to speak with this informant and carry on with the job. I think this meeting was a true blessing. I'm still half in disbelief and can't really think straight anymore. I need rest now, and early in the morning I'll leave to Whiterun. Soon, when this is over, I'll find myself retiring in style. One last job is all it takes. Well, in my experience with similar individuals, one last job becomes another last job, and so on, into a never-ending cycle. 19th of Morningstar, 4th Era, 201. I took a room for tonight at the Bannered Mare in Whiterun. I met the informant today just before dusk. Apparently the thief got executed this morning outside the city walls. He had the ring and his notes somewhere in the prison dungeons. Oh. Perhaps the notes are in here. Otherwise, I don't envy the task of traversing the dungeons. There was no chance for him to smuggle them out anymore, so it seems. I'll have to go in there to get them. According to the informant, there's a secret tunnel underneath the dungeon. That may assist me. The thief managed to toss his stuff down there. I should find a way down there and look for them. Tonight I'll stay out and watch guard movements around the prison, and tomorrow night I'll make my move and break in. Interesting. So, mysterious rings. A mysterious benefactor. Hello.
You want a drink?
I could do with a refill of water, yes.
Of course.
Do you make it commonplace to... Well, I've eaten already, but out of curiosity, what's the special of the morning?
Depends. Are you thirsty? Hungry? Both.
I'm hungry for answers and a multitude of different capacities. Nothing you have of interest here.
Now please, no more questions.
I...
Mind your manners and pay your bills. And you'll
Very-
always be welcome.
Very well. Wonderful. Just the way I like to start my day. Mysteries posed before me, with avenues to explore them. Mysterious people
If there's
barging
nothing
into
else,
my
I have work
room.
to do.
And rain. Ah, yes. What a wonderful day we have. I must say, just quite... Well, we're just quite busy out here. Let's check in at the general store, see if they have any clothes.
Got something for just about everybody in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
Well, I do appreciate your... I guess not expertise, but is... That is a fancy...
Everything's for sale, my friend. Everything. If I had a sister, I'd sell her in a second.
Interesting. But...
I'd even buy one of your relatives if you're looking to sell. Yeah, that's a little joke.
You're a strange man. But how's business? With this civil war thing going?
Interesting, to say the least. What with all that's been going on. On the one hand, supplies are harder to come by since fewer traders are traveling the roads these days.
Understandable.
But on the other, the scarcity of supplies has led to some, well, elevated prices.
Ah, so you...
All that matters is that I have what you need, and it's worth every septum.
Mm-hmm. Not to sound rude, but in my limited experience thus far in this place, SKYRIM, don't see many Bretons. What brings you to here?
Isn't it obvious? Why, the wonderful weather and hospitable people, of course.
Very funny.
Not to mention my great fondness for dragons and petty political power struggles. But without a doubt, the most compelling feature of this frozen wasteland is the volley of inane questions leveled at me on a regular basis.
It is quite a miracle that you are still in business.
Oh, a bit of this and a bit of that.
Let's see what you have. I will... I guess humor you. Travel cloak linen. I want something more like a hide or fur. But of course, you have none of that. Why would you? Oh. Ooh. No. Maybe... maybe you're willing to buy... Yes. Have some items. Ah, right. I have fur boots. Those might be useful. No, I'm keeping those. Probably keep those. Nope, you're not having my food. Or items I can use for cooking and alchemy. You will... Well, you can have that. But the rest of the books are mine. Hands off. Lest you want to lose a finger. And have a wolf pelt, I suppose. Well, I got something.
Do come back.
I cannot say. You are high on my list of priorities to do business with. However, you seem to be the only merchant general store in town. And that does unfortunately make
Nothing about our suffering.
What of my son? What of Thoron?
are we bullying an old woman?
Don't talk to me about son.
Your son chose his side and he chose poorly, and now he's gone. Such is the way of war. The sooner you accept this loss, the better.
Okay. I see.
My son still lives. I feel it in my heart. So tell me, Battleborn, where is he? Where are you holding my Thoron?
I get the right.
Do you believe
People, I don't believe any of you. You're all absurd. This is the Gilded Green. I believe Hulda said? Why? Are you the one I'm supposed to speak with? Hello.
It's a shame, isn't it?
The rain? And the fact that we're sitting and standing out in it? Yes. I spoke with... Forgive me, I'm new in town, so names are easily forgotten. I believe it was a Hulda, whoever the innkeep at the Bannered Mare is. Said something about this tree. Perhaps we make this quick or step aside.
The Gilded Green, yes. It's a bit of an eyesore at the moment. More of a problem for the pilgrims than for me, but not many of them around anymore.
Forgive me, but what is the importance of this tree?
To the east of here is a hidden grove where the Eldergleam resides. It's the oldest living thing in SKYRIM, maybe all of Tamriel. Our
Okay.
tree here in the city was grown from a cutting of that tree. You can still feel the glory of the mother tree through it. Even its name is an echo.
Okay. No, again, I'm a bit of a scholar, more artifacts, antiquity, books, things of that nature, not well versed on botany, plant life, although I'd like to learn. It is something that I have regrettably, up till this point, not prioritized in my learnings and education. Due to some lack of opportunity and misunderstandings at previous institutions, shall we say. But is there any way that we can revive the tree? I'd be interested in learning and expanding my horizons, making myself of use.
I've thought about that. Trees like this never really die, they only slumber. I think if we had some of the sap from the parent tree, we could wake up its child.
Seems simple enough.
But even if you could get to the Eldergleam, you couldn't tap it. Not with any normal method.
That is problematic. But I guess first, one thing we should probably determine is where this presumed parent tree is.
If you want to help, you'll need something to cut into it first. You'll have to deal with the hag ravens. I've heard about the weapon they've made for sacrificing Spriggans.
Okay, those sound nasty.
It's called Nettlebane. The hags terrify me, or I would have gone after it myself.
Yes, hags do have generally a negative connotation. I mean, I can locate Nettlebane and find and arrange some manner in which we can obtain it.
Your spirit is strong. Kinnaret's winds will guide your path. It's held in a hagraven nest called Orphan Rock.
Oh, a nest. Multiple. what I love the most. What the hell is a hag? I mean, I suppose that it's some sort of portmanteau of hags and ravens, and probably some sort of hybrid being. Stately, not too stately. Looks like an ale hall of some sort. I'm presuming this is the companion's hold. Perhaps they can help.
Come on now, watch the footwork. Keep your
Fist,
balance.
open fist brawls. Yes, I would assume this is the companion's hall.
What are you waiting for?
Yes, throw the punch.
Going to enjoy
Why are we fighting? Everyone's just very calm about this. It must be common. Alright. Very.
You think you stand a chance?
Oh, hello.
Get him! Kill him!
Kill him? That's... I'm not going to speak to their strengths, because I'm probably no better and they'd probably take me out in one punch. But either knock them out, or call it a draw. Whatever. Arcane.
If you wish to hunt with me, your feet need to be quick and your eyes quicker.
Yes, well, I happen to come in regards to the companions and membership therein. Also general info as to who they are.
An outsider, eh? Never heard of the companions? An order of warriors. We are brothers and sisters in honor.
Okay.
And we show up to solve problems if the coin is good enough.
So, sort of like the mercenaries? Sounds like the Fighters Guild back in Cyrodiil. I'm vaguely familiar with them. How did you come to join?
My mother was a companion, and her mother, and all the women in my family back to Khajiit.
Oh, that's a name.
I stayed with my father in the woods until I was old enough for my tribe. We hunted everything there was to hunt. Good training. Ma didn't live long enough to see me join.
That's a shame.
But I fight to honor her and all my shield sisters through time.
Very well. Pardon.
Until next time.
Can we please stop the fighting? Pardon. Excuse me. No. Can we stop? They're making no progress. Just stop them. Whatever.
You dare fight
Going to enjoy killing you.
Kill him!
I'll let you settle your differences while I go speak with the Jarl. That is it. Well, that does not speak. Yes, yes, and we're in rain. It's not trapped now. That display does not bode well for their consideration in assisting in these endeavors that I'm looking to set forward. Regardless, let's speak with the Jarl. This is sizable. Oh, hello. Hello.
I'm the commander of the guard here in Whiterun.
Okay.
My boys will keep you safe. Don't you worry.
Well, I certainly hope so. Ma'am?
I might just be a servant among lords, but don't think for a moment I don't take my duties as seriously as the Jarl himself takes his.
It is good to know. We need more people like that. Hello.
Ain't nobody high and mighty in these halls, except in the Jarl. And don't you forget.
Okay. Very well. Oh. Pardon me. Lightning's nasty. I don't mean any harm. There's no need for the sword. I'll slowly come. Hello.
What's the meaning of this interruption? Jarl Balgrup is not receiving visitors.
Not to be confrontational, but if he was not taking visitors and audiences, one might expect that the Jarl would either sequester himself away from the main hall or lock the front door. But that is just me. In regards to audiences, I have news from Helgen about the dragon attack. You might have heard of it.
Well, that explains why the guards let you in.
Yes.
Come on then. The Jarl will want to speak to you personally.
Oh. Well, that certainly took a turn.